You guys were essentially calling Chrissy a P3DO for having her baby in her arms, and her baby was making noises. That's why I did that.
No, we weren't.
So what was it? You didn't call her a predator?
No, I didn't. You know what I did say? I said, if your baby is upset, we can do this another time because he's crying.
But so it wasn't you. Okay, all right. So that's my bad. Okay, that's my apologies then. I made a mistake then.
Oh.
I thought it was Cameron that was going at Christy about her baby. No.
Okay. Yeah. Well, thanks for calling me slurs. I appreciate it.
Right.
You're a nice person.
Well, you're the one hosting lives about me 24/7. Menorah, do you want to do a 1v1 debate? I'm feeling a bit better, yeah. Listen, my guy, you're going to call Christy a P3DO, right? Or a predator because she has her baby with her. I'm going to call you a tranny. It's as simple as that, bro. Like, what? What? You ain't going to attack Christy and I'm not going to say shit. Come on. Like, you allowed your friend on that panel, Cam, to call her a predator. Do we have that clip? He can post it. Yeah, you didn't do that, but Cam did that. So you allowed your friend to call a mother, so he didn't call her a predator either. Alright, so do you want to have a 1v1 debate, Menorah? Do you want to do a 2v2 or a 1v1? I'm more than happy. I'm a little bit under the weather now, if we can give it maybe a few days. Alright then, no worries. Because you know I'll eat you alive in a debate. You can't debate me. You might start crying again. So guys, Vicks is the way forward when you're not well. You haven't debated me 4 times. Me and you haven't had a one-on-one debate. Without other people getting involved. It would be nice. We can co-host it. You don't come to my live, I won't come to your live. You're in charge of your comment section, I'm in charge of mine. We can have one-on-one, we'll do a time limit of 45 minutes to an hour, and then we can end it at the hour mark. We can do that. But if you don't want to, I'm absolutely going to stand by Christy if people are... so is that a yes? Do you want to do that, or you don't want to do it? Menorah. Hi, Gluten. Can I get your age, please?
I'm 21.
21. Okay.
Yeah.
And
I just wanted to ask why you hate trans people, because you kind of look trans.
Yeah, I don't hate trans people. What do trans people look like?
I mean, pretty.
They look pretty.
Sorry, yeah, no, you look like a man, to be honest. You look like a man.
Is that what trans women look like?
You look like a man, to be honest. Like, what?
Is that what they look like? I'm dead. I can't.
Okay.
I'm dead.
Okay. No, but you kind of look like a dude. So I think that's why you're mad for.
I'm not mad.
Like
believe me, I'm not mad. Trust me, I'm not mad.
Yeah, because you're ugly.
I
just want to say one fucking thing, okay?
Look it out, my fellow bro. You can't swear like that. So, do you want to engage in a debate with me, or do you want to just sit here and let's throw insults at each other? What do you want to do, Derek?
So, you're kind of ugly. I think you're just mad because you're very unattractive, and it's okay. But you shouldn't hate trans people for being trans. You should hate yourself for being ugly, and it's not our fault.
I can't, I'm dead. I can't. Chrissy, I had Menorah in here. Can you... I did. And Menorah said to me, why did I call him a slur? And I said, I called him a slur.
You did?
I did. I called him a tranny. Because I called him a tranny because they called you a predator when you had your baby with you.
Why did they call me a predator?
When you had your baby with you, that
day? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm a predator because I hold my baby? Oh. Why am I predator because I hold my baby? Hi, gluten. Yeah.
Hello.
So yeah, I didn't have it, and I told them that they're trannies, they're calling you a predator. Well, I think a lot of the trannies call me predators because they can't have babies. Oh, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye. Chrissy, I'm dead. I can't.
We don't even have to write. The jokes literally come up and just the jokes just write themselves.
They do write themselves. That was brilliant. That was fucking joke. So what? So I swear they called you a predator on that panel, no? They did.
Yeah. I don't give a shit. They're resmarted.
Yeah. So I went up there and I called him a fucking tranny. And then he came in today like, Envyy, why did you call me a tranny? I was like, because you called Christy a fucking predator. Celine, can I get your age, please?
Hi, Joe.
23, hola.
Hola.
Oh, ¿cómo está?
¿Cómo está? Mahakita mabute.
Yo tranny?
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
I'm not tranny. You're a tranny. Don't call me a tranny.
Tranny.
What about me makes you think I'm a tranny?
You look like tranny. You don't look like tranny.
You look like tranny. You sound like tranny.
You're lying. You're lying.
No.
You're lying. You're not tranny. You're not a tranny.
I'm not lying.
That's a tranny.
No. You're lying. Are you lying?
No.
Do you sit on your balls?
I'm woman. You're tranny.
Or you're woman?
Stay tranny, please.
Why do you guys all sound like you're auditioning for the Muppets?
No, stay tranny, please.
I'm dead.
You're all Muppets.
You're
Muppet
racist.
characters.
You're racist.
Racist because you sound like a Muppet?
No, you're racist.
Oh, no, you just sound like a Muppet character.
No,
Right, Yo-Yo, can you, do you want to debate? You want to tell me, do you think trans women are women?
No, they're men.
What?
They're men.
They're men. Oh, okay, he said they're men.
Friendly fire. Whoops.
Oh, okay. All right then. Well, I'm looking for opposition, Derek.
Oh, I thought you were returning.
Okay, bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye.
Oh, God. I know, gotcha. Right, guys, let's get a 1 in the chat if trans women are men, 2 in the chat if you believe that they're women. Chrissy, man, we had a couple debates earlier. I just restarted the live to see if we can...
I'm here. I just got to work, so I'm going to stay in the panel on mute, but I'll pop in. I'll be in and out.
Yeah, Amy, feel free to request up. Can we get the ops invited up? Guys, we are wanting to engage in civil discord. Yossi, no thank you. I'm looking for opposition only. Is trans man M to F? That would be probably the best way to say it, but Tony, no, a trans woman is a man who wants to be a woman. So we're going to keep it going. If there is anyone that believes that trans women are women, feel free to request up. If you disagree that gender identity is sexist.
Hello.
Herbert, can I get your age?
19.
Why you sound like you're on a troll, bro?
What?
Like, do you believe trans women are women?
Yeah.
What is a woman?
A human adult female.
Okay, and what is the sex of a trans woman?
Their sex is male, but their gender identity is a woman.
But you just said a woman is an adult human female. If their sex is male, then they cannot fall under the category.
Yeah, I'm bored. Anyway, I was trying to troll you, but it didn't work. See you later. God love.
Oh, bye. I knew it. Fucking bullshit. Right. Guys, we are looking for opposition. Feel free to request up if you believe that trans women are women. If you believe that gender identity is not sexist, I will say that gender identity is sexist. If you disagree with that statement, feel free to request up. Can we get opposition invited up? Mod, do you have my permission that if you do see opposing comments, in it, Brit? You can just tell nowadays. So let's get a 1 in the chat if gender identity is sexist, 2 in the chat if it's not, and then we can get the opposition invited up. Guys, I am currently in the A-League. I am trying to complete the gift gallery for this week. It is a very... Chrissy, I'm in the A-League gift gallery, bro. It's fucking insane. Imagine, Chrissy, one of the gifts has to be a TikTok universe. One has to be a Leon and Lion. A Lion, 2 Interstellars. Like, bro, I don't even know how this is even going to fucking happen, but we keep trying. Stray Ari, if you'd like to come up, you're more than welcome to. If not, maybe you can state your thoughts in the comment section. Let me know why you don't think it's sexist. Gift gallery goal. Oh, it's 45,000 coins. The TikTok universe. That's what I'm saying. Guys, you guys have pushed me up into the big boy leagues. The real question is, can we stay there? You know, that's the real question. I'm going to fight to stay in the A-League. It helps push the lives out. I'm taking Nate's advice on that because I think he has a point there. Well, that's what he was saying as well. Leon Line's 34,000. I know, Frank, it's a lot. So I may have to do more hours on the app to see if we can get that. Maybe, yeah, we can see how it goes. If we can get these gifts and keep me up in the A-League and keep it pushing. Envy, you need to battle Perez. Get some more people here to hear what you've got to say. Who's Perez, babe? Oh shit, be smooth. I'm going to try and get it done though, because I feel bad. I don't want it to fall onto one person. But Perez Hilton, can you organise something? Does anyone? I don't know who that is. Oh, it'll be crazy if I get it. Envy, you need gold. He's not. Yeah, alright, maybe you can share the live with me and I can go up. I'm going to try and not take any days off. I'm going to try and not take any days off because, God, I need to put the hours in. And I think we're doing really well. Hiya.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Can I get your age, please?
I'm 33.
33.
34 on Saturday.
Oh, well, happy early birthday. No worries. And do you disagree with the prompt?
I don't. Trans women are women and they're transitioned and they're living their best lives.
Oh, so you do disagree? You think trans women are women?
Yeah, they are women.
Okay. Could you kindly tell me what you think a woman is, please?
I think a woman is a trans person who has transitioned and they are a woman.
Yeah, but you're not telling me what a woman is. You're just saying a woman is a trans person.
Yeah.
So
if a trans person transitions to a woman, they're a woman.
Yeah, but what? Okay, forget what the trans person is doing. Just what is a woman? What's a woman?
Just so you're against trans, are you? Trans people?
Well, I don't know. You might take it as I'm against them. I don't validate mentally ill men that think that they're women.
It's ridiculous.
You can't call me ridiculous when you can't tell me what a woman is. Hey, Derek! Hey! Techius, come. I have to go feed this cat. That is crazy. I don't even know how. Not for real. How is it ridiculous? Can you come back in the panel, please, Ailing? Because what you're saying is completely absurd. You're saying that a woman is a tranny, essentially. Last I checked, I didn't transition. So let's debate it. Let's talk. Let's have a coffee. Let's have a glass of water and a conversation. Because I want to know where your head is at. I want to know why you hate women. I want to know why you hate women. That's what I want to know. Why are you against women? Why does Eileen hate women? For anyone who can't define woman, you hate women. And I'm going to say it. Wildcat, thank you for the heart me. Raja Badger, thank you for the heart me. Jamie, thank you for the heart me. Right, I'm going to take this off. We're going to do a little... can we get her invited up, please? I'm going to do smaller goals as well so everyone else can contribute. It's true, like you're disrespecting your own mother, bro, by calling a man a woman. Highly disrespectful. Highly, highly disrespectful. Oh my god, why am I so fucking tired, bro? Right, if there's anyone in the comment section that disagrees with the above statements that trans women are men, feel free to request up. If you disagree that gender identity is smexist, feel free to request up. If you are not wanting to come up into the panel to engage in civil discourse, it's 4 o'clock here. I've got about half an hour left before I've got to get off. Talk to Ronnie, he says he's a woman, not a trans woman. Naomi, are you able to share the live with him, or are you able to inbox me his account? Oh, he's here. Can we get him invited up? Sorry, Naomi. Apologies. I don't think I'm being rude to anybody. I think I've had very civil discussions today. Just because I don't agree with you, it doesn't mean I'm being rude. Right? Let's just make that absolutely clear. So, Amy, feel free to request up. Oh, but Amy, if you have any questions, do ask me in the comment section, you know? Let me know. Oh, yeah, no, I know it's not our Bonnie. So do ask me. Bless you. Is that a web? Is that a web? And guys, I don't know if Black Widow is around. Yeah, but I don't think that's what I don't answer your delusion of it. Do whatever we aren't changing definitions though. Thank you, exactly, Emily. Good day, Sprouts. How are you? How are you doing? Guys, I've got about half an hour left before I get off, so if we can get some opposition up for a conversation. Hey, Unknown, how are you? I'll probably come back on later on in the evening. My mum's going to be home from dialysis in a bit. I do have to sort her out some dinner. Once I've got her sorted, I will be making my way back. What do you mean, originality? What are you talking about, babe? Me and Chrissy are working on the Epstein files. Guys, there is a lot to go on. Andrea, thank you. Look, Chaos, I did. Chaos, I love you. Andrea, thank you. It's 0A0 laugh. Thank you. How are you feeling, Chaos? You're not just cold, you're freezing with that weather. Didn't I do it in the other live? I swear I said Chaos. I'm sorry, babe. How are you? Jojo, that's it. You're going to do a call out live on me. Thank you for the roses, guys. Bless you. Are you at work now? I am sounding better, but it's still there a little bit. I am feeling a bit better. I know. It's that I'm getting the little tickles in the back of my throat, Chaos, and Zero laugh. So we're gonna see. It's not bad, and I hope it kind of just stops here. But never do I ever. You're always working with me. Does it help your day? Chad, can I get your age, please?
I'm 20 years old.
Hey, feel free to request up and I can explain it to you, or if you don't want to come up, let me know and I'll explain it in the comments for you. Okay, and do you believe that trans women are women?
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Oh, you're a troll, man.
Yeah.
I can't deal with this. Right, something feels missing when I'm not on. Oh, my chaos. Okay, you don't want to debate. Right, so a gender identity is sexist because it pushes masculinity to mean boy and man, and femininity to mean woman and girl. Everyone is afraid to debate me. I'm not afraid to debate you. Do you want to come up? I've got about a half an hour if you want to jump up. Eliana. So that's my view, H. I mean, do you want to schedule a debate? Or do you want to do it right now? Or we can do it next time I'm live? Thank you for the roses, Jojo Joseph Sin. Thank you so much. He can never be lesbian. Never ever. Thank you for the follow. Thank you, Sin. Bless you for the roses. Jojo, thank you. What is that? Yes, I said it! Yes, I am feeling better than the other day. One day off really helped. And all your guys, I've got to say, I don't know if you guys are sending me positive energy, healing vibes and all of that. Definitely helped. I had some herbal tea, portable sauna, nice hot baths, and all of the good stuff. And I do feel better. I'm not 100%, like my eyes are still heavy. No, I'm not Israeli. I'm part Arab and Turkish. Joseph, thank you. Rebecca, thank you so much. Guys, let's fucking go. I know, I did it all on my own, Matush. You guys don't know, I told you all you need to know. I'm dead. I thought it was the eyes. I can't. So what happened? Eliana, is he gone now? I thought he came in saying that everyone's scared to debate him. I offered him a debate and he ran. Is that what just happened? Is that what happened? Is that what just happened, guys? I think that's what just happened. Well, the guy that thinks he's a lesbian came in and said that everybody is afraid to debate him. So I said I will debate him, and then he left. Yeah, so he's scared, not me. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't get it, AI. Well, I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, I'm here, I'm on the block. I'm on the block. Me, by myself. Well, I'm not by myself, Christy's here, you know. I know he was projecting, dummy. Guys, share the live out with him, please. Swan, I'm not joking, though. Bro, I'm here. I ain't going nowhere. You know, share the live out with him, guys. Get him back in here. Message him and be like, bro, she just offered you for a debate. That's what I'm saying. What are my views on gay people? Oh, I think they're gay, innit? That's my view on gay people. That they're just gay. I know. We ain't got one up. Guys, let's get a 1 in the chat if trans women are men, 2 in the chat if you believe they're women. Just cause the flag, it's just trans people. It's not that I don't like trans people. I don't think people understand. I have a contention with Oh, let's get the ops invited up. I don't hate anybody. Hate is such a strong word. I have a contention with them. With them claiming that they are women. Beth, feel free to request up if you'd like to engage in civil discourse. Feel free to request. Don't be scared. Let's get the conversation flowing. Because if there is something that you guys can change my mind on, I'll absolutely concede. It does need to make sense. I do want it to make sense. I want to know. You can whisper, H. Hey, step out the room. Talk like that. A debate, I wouldn't say, like, it's not that I don't want my mind changed. I'm open. My mind is open, but it has to make sense. And I would also argue, Amy, that it's not just me that the minds are changing, it's for the viewers that are watching. All right, Beth, you have a lovely day. Keep selling out women. You know, it's not just me. There's 210 people in the live. You may not be able to convince me, but you may be able to convince other people. And that would be a win for you, you know? Hiya, Star. Can I get your age, please?
Hi, I'm 16.
Oh, God. Sorry, you're too young. You have a lovely day. No, take care. Can we get the child blocked, please? Thank you so much. Hi, Debbie. How are you? Oh, at least they were honest about it. That's really good. But I don't want to convince people. I just want to live my life. I understand, but living your life is now impacting my life as a woman, and that's where my contention is. That's what the problem is here, Amy. So if there is anyone in the comment section, well, it impacts my life because it impacts my rights as a woman. So you saying that you're a woman, wanting to go into women-only space, I am feeling a little bit better. Go. Matish, go. Get those muscles up. Hi, here posted. Can I get your age, please?
Hi there, I'm 31.
31, great. Okay, and do you disagree with the prompt?
I disagree.
You disagree? Okay, which one would you like to talk about?
Well, I'm jumping in. You're live right now. The last 30 seconds, you're talking about impacting your rights.
Thank you, Billy.
And I'm curious, obviously, but it's your live, so how do you want to run the guests? How do you want me to approach it?
Oh, I would like just however which way you see fit. If you have any questions for me, I'm more than happy to answer. And then we can... Oh my God. Right, sorry about that. So if you would like to just maybe ask me a question and we can take it from there, or if you want to discuss one of the prompts on the back. No, left as well. Okay. Anyways, I'm dead. Yeah, I don't think that they can. I don't think they can debate it. I think they just know. Alexandra, thank you for the roses. Billy, thank you for the heart me. I mean, we've made a couple people run today, which is pretty interesting. So, guys, 1 in the chat if trans women are men, 2 in the chat if you believe that they are women, and we get the opposition invited up. H, am I saying his name right? H. Maya. Hi, H. Can I get your age?
20.
20. Great. Okay. And what did you want to ask me?
Yeah, I'll decide that I will come up. What was I going to say? So, what did you mean by like gender identity as sexist? Can you re-explain that to me again? Sorry.
Yes. So, gender identity is perpetuating the notion that masculinity equals man and that femininity equals woman.
Okay. So, how do you feel about like just gender roles in general?
I think that rigid gender roles, I don't like necessarily think it's a good thing to define somebody via gender roles, because we understand that men can carry out, you know, the gender roles that were assigned to women and vice versa. So yeah, I mean, we could obliterate gender roles entirely, which I think we kind of get to that place because we do have men that, you know, carry out roles that women do, you know, and vice versa. Yeah. So I don't think gender roles is as much of as an issue as it used to be.
See, I agree, but then the whole like root of where trans people come from is, as I'm sure you probably understand as well, is their like experience in their like their social experience as their gender role doesn't match how they feel. So then I would argue that it's not necessarily, because obviously it's a recognized condition, so I'd argue it's not necessarily the fault of trans people that they feel that way, but because there's so many people that still push like gender roles onto other people, and then that pushing of said gender roles causes the dysphoria that they feel, and then they want to they want to transition and all that.
Yeah, but there you go. But so then that is the reinforcement of sexism, right? Because instead of teaching children that you can be a man and be a boy and play with dolls, or you can be a boy or a man and get a nursing job, you know what I mean? Something like that. What we're essentially saying is because you're a boy, you can't do these things. Therefore, that means you are a girl. And then we lead them down the medical path, which is reinforcing sexism. Sorry, go ahead.
I don't necessarily think that that's like... Thing is, because it's such a diverse topic, because you'll hear a lot of like different views online, and then you'll meet a lot of different people with different views like in real life. And for the majority of parents, like currently, I believe that they, for example, they enforce, whether they mean to or not, they enforce a gender role on their child. But then, like, I do agree that it is not, how do I explain? It's not necessarily sexist in the way that, like, them living, like, their gender identity is sexist, but the way that they've, like, the environmental factors surrounding them that have made them develop this dysphoria, I think could be attributed to sexism, yeah, or just the general purpose of gender roles.
Yeah, but no, because what they're doing, they are taking the associative traits, right? Because all of these things are associated with being a boy or a girl. So like trucks, for example, they're associated with boys. The color blue is associated with boys. Short haircuts are associated with boys. Now, when a girl wants to be a boy, she will then take on these stereotypes and then use the associative traits to define herself as a boy. So that is sexist. That is sexist.
Do you blame them though? Do you blame trans people for, let's say they've been, because most people, we're brought up in an environment where gender roles do exist, and I don't agree with it, obviously, like with gender roles and like boy being for blues or whatever. Because 100 years ago, blue was a girl's colour. Do you know what I mean? But like the way that people have been brought up the last like 30, 40 years, there's a lot of like toxic masculinity and even toxic femininity, where it's like girls have to do this and boys have to do that. And when they're brought up in that environment where they're a boy, for example, and they've been told, oh yeah, you have to do this and that to be a boy, to be masculine, but then they quite enjoy doing things that are associated with femininity, that's then what causes the dysphoria. So while I don't disagree that it's...
I agree with you. I think it's circumstantial, hey. I think it's going to be circumstantial between each situation. Because, like, for example, I don't know how strict gender roles are to date. I will be completely honest. I don't think they're as bad as maybe as they used to be, but I can understand, like, you know, if, you've got a father and an uncle and things like that, and they're around their, 14-year-old son or 13-year-old son, and he wants to play with something that girls would, or he likes the idea of makeup and he wants to grow out his hair long or something like that. And then, the father and the uncle are like, but you're a boy, you can't do that, da-da-da. And then, he starts to develop some type of like, shit, I'm not, then that must mean I'm a girl, or something like that. I can see that being a factor of it. So I can see that, but then we've also got people that are not from rigid gender role families and that they could be feminine and it was okay for them to be feminine, but then using that femininity to, because it's not a monolith. Do you see what I mean? It's like for every, no, it's going to be a different circumstance for it. So I can agree with you to a certain extent that forcing rigid gender roles can create this type of dysphoria, but I think that there are people that just want to use associative traits to turn woman into some type of social role rather than a lived reality.
Well, I do think as well, there is, because I go to university, there's like quite a diverse range of people at my uni, and that includes like people of all genders and identities. I'm like, I'm quite like affirming, but even I can't keep up sometimes. I'm like, what the hell? But from a few people that I've met that like struggle with their gender identity, it does also come from like experiencing abuse, and where they experience that abuse, like for example, they're a girl and they've experienced abuse, and then they grow up wanting to not associate with being a girl because that's what gave them like trauma and all that. Yeah.
So do you think that's an effective way of dealing with their trauma, is to tell this girl that she is actually a boy and then give her a double mastectomy?
Not to tell them, but it's trans people, like, it's not someone telling a trans person, oh, you're trans, and then they go like, oh, right, like I'm not. It's more like they're internally, they feel like, well, I've like this being associated with this gender brings me so much distress that if, like, for example, if I was able to just change to be a guy and be socially expressed as a guy, then that would bring them a lot more like peace of mind and comfort in their own body. In which case, I think that's like a totally valid way to deal with it. But if it's like they're a girl and the way they're, because I do agree there is toxic ways of like experiencing gender identity, but I think for the most part, I don't believe it's like. Can I get
very quickly? I just need to get the ages of the people. Guys, can I get a friendly up on the panel?
I am 19.
19 hats. Laurie Lay, can I get your age, please? And Manu, can I get your age, please?
I'm 22.
22. Oh, Debbie, great. Okay, Manu, your stance, please.
Yeah, I was just coming up about, because we were talking about the care of the treatment for gender dysphoria. So I'm a sociologist, and so I have many opinions about gender theory, and obviously the stance in sociology is I affirm gender theory, and I affirm that gender and sex are different things.
Okay, so could you, in sociology, can you define gender for me, please?
Yeah, so basically how sociology sees gender, it's not a binary of, it's not you're either one or the other, so it's not about what's in your pants, or it's not about your chromosomes, it's different spheres of gender, right? So in order to be seen or to be a gender, you have to adhere to the spheres related to that gender in that society.
So can you define gender for me, please? I don't think you defined it.
Yeah, it's adhering to the defined sociological or social spheres of the gender.
So, from my answer, I don't think that's the definition of gender. The definition of
circular definition.
Yeah. So it's not defining it. So gender. To date under the World Health Organization.
The thing is, I'm not an English native.
Okay.
So I could give you the language as a definition in my own language, but I can look it up for you.
Yeah, if you could look it up, then I'd love to have this conversation.
Yeah,
absolutely. Thank you. But while I'm waiting for you to do that, Hey, can I get your stance, please? Not Hey, Hat.
I believe that trans people are not a debate. They are human beings that should not be debated.
Right, and do you think women's rights should be debated?
I think trans people have nothing to do with anybody's rights. I believe trans people are just people trying to exist.
Right, so a trans woman that wants to impede upon the rights of the female sex of women, don't you think that is an interference?
Please give me an example of how they are impeaching anybody's
I can give you plenty of examples. Do you know who Isla Bryson is?
Who?
Do you know who Isla Bryson is?
No, I do not.
No, you do not. A male who essayed girls, women, sorry. Before his court date, he decided to identify as a woman. He wore a pink tracksuit and a blonde wig, and he went to his court date, and he got put in a female prison in Scotland where he continued to reoffend. Now, you're telling me, I'm not saying that all trans people are dangerous. I'm not saying that whatsoever. The majority of them are safe. However, when we look at this argument of that you simply have to identify as a woman in order to be one, you are therefore putting other people at risk. So therefore you're saying they're not hurting anyone, But then my right, even if I get arrested and put in prison, even then my rights can be taken away or infringed on because of this gender ideology. So I know you're saying, oh, trans people they're not hurting anyone, they're just human beings. Yeah, they are human beings. But the whole ideology opens a can of worms and can allow people to have their rights infringed on.
There is also a very big part that you're missing on
you saying that they're just human beings doesn't invalidate the fact that human beings can also hurt people. Do you know that? Let me give you another example.
Did I say
Lily
that?
Pino.
I think maybe let Hap respond really quick.
Pino.
Can you just let Hap respond? Okay. So you didn't know who Isla Bryson was. You didn't know about that case. So I think it's ignorant of you to come up on the panel and try and tell me that trans people aren't a threat, they're not hurting you, when actually women's rights are being infringed upon. Do you care about women?
I do, of course I do.
Okay, if you cared about women, you wouldn't let men into women's places.
I'm just saying though, right, that this is why we have things in place like the GRCs, gender recognition certificate. You can't, well that specific case should not have been allowed in my opinion.
Why not?
I'm just saying.
Why not? He identified as a woman.
Yeah, but that's not how it rolls. You shouldn't be just able to.
Okay, let's just get our terms straight then, because when I talk to people like you on this app, I tend to find that people. Oh, she's gone. There you go then.
Can I input something on that real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
I feel like if you was to look at statistics, obviously that's like a terrible thing that happened, and I do feel like that's more of the judicial system to blame. But do you not think that like taking one case out of like a population and then applying it to the whole population?
All right, let Debbie go in, and I just want to chime in here.
So I understand that point. You're saying that obviously the T community is a very small percentage of the people, and then the offenders within the T community might even be a small percentage of the T community, if that makes sense. However, when it comes to, let's say more specifically what I was talking about, women's rights and letting men into these female spaces, if I was to give you a bag of sweets, 100 sweets, but I told you that 2 of them were poisonous, 2 of them will unalive you, are you going to sit there and eat that bag of sweets? But just for safety, just for your own safety, you're going to say, do you know what, actually, I'm not going to have any of them. So what I'm trying to say here is women don't know which of the trans women are men who are bad and who are going to harm them. We don't know.
Right.
But just for safety, we should completely ban them all. Sorry, Envyy.
No, it's fine. And I would just argue that it's not even all about safety either. It is about our privacy and our dignity. We have rights in law that say that women can be in a state of undress away from the male sex. So even if every male, because I would argue the vast majority of men are good men, so I would argue, why are we not allowing all the good men into women-only spaces? It's just not based on the fact of safety, it is for our privacy. I should be able to be in a vulnerable state of undress, pulling my panties down in a vicinity without the male gaze set upon me, without the male gaze being in that closed vicinity with me. It is actually instructed under international law via the Geneva Convention, the Bangkok Rules, CEDAW, that women have the right. We are considered the vulnerable sex to the male sex. We have 2 disadvantages. We are born physically inferior to males, and we are born more sexually vulnerable to males. So these are the things that we take into account. So this is a matter of human rights. It is a human right for the female sex to have these spaces away from the male sex. Every man, my father is a good man, but I'm not going to say to him, yeah, Dad, go ahead, go into the women-only space, right? I'm not going to do that. So I would like to know, why are we making this demographic of male the exception to the rule?
Okay. Would you? I have a question then, because I don't disagree.
Thank you for the swan, Val. I
do definitely agree. So then I would say, if if there was a trans woman, because if there was a trans woman and she was like fully transitioned, you could not tell the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think you'd be comfortable with her being in a...
Right, so under that hypothetical that I am unbeknownst to there being a man in my space, unfortunately for me, I cannot challenge it. I wouldn't be, because if I don't know, I can't challenge it, but it doesn't make it right. In fact, if I was to find out that I was in the presence of a man that disguised himself well enough to look like a woman, I would be more scared. I am more afraid of the man that I cannot identify than the man that I can, because at least the man that I can identify being a man, I am fully aware. I can alert authorities, I can alert staff members, but the man that I cannot identify, I would be 100 more afraid of that person. That just makes him a sex deceptionist. And I think that is foul behavior, that you think you can impede upon my rights because you have disguised yourself well enough. You're more dangerous to me.
Okay, when you say disguised, like, are we talking like, let's say in a women's only space, like everyone's clothed, for example. So then, what defines being disguised? Like if they wear feminine clothes? No, I would say altering your biology to mimic the female sex. So that could go as far as taking cross-sex hormones to develop gynecomastia, facial feminizing surgery. They go as far as to taking out their ribs to try and give their bodies that hourglass look also. So if I was in the case of that there is a man that has done all of these things, then absolutely, I can't challenge it. I probably would engage with conversation with him. I probably would get naked in front of him without knowing. But it doesn't mean it's not impeding on my right. No, of course. Okay, I agree with that. So then, what? Because obviously, if you was to put someone who's a trans woman and they're fully transitioned and they've changed their biology, as you say, if you was to put them in a men's prison, then they would probably also be at risk from potential. No. I would argue that gay effeminate men are also at risk. Because you ever heard that saying, "Gay for the stay"? Right? So a lot of these men that are in prison, they try to find someone that is feminine, and they commit these to like horrific acts. But that is why there are segregated wards. So I would argue just put them in a separate ward.
And really quickly, I just wanted to respond to that really quick as well. It's not a woman's problem if a man has changed himself so much and he's changed his exterior appearance so much that he now feels uncomfortable going into a male space. That's not women's problem.
Yeah, it's not.
It's the same way every space or every, even go down to careers or jobs, there's always standards. For example, my mother was cabin crew, and to be a cabin crew, you couldn't have a tattoo. So if she got turned away from a job because she had a physical, visible tattoo, that's not the airline's problem. That's my mother's problem for not realizing she couldn't have tattoos to go into that job. So there's standards for certain places, and the standard for a female space is to be a female. And trans women simply don't meet that standard. So it's not women's problem if he feels uncomfortable going into the male space. He decided to make himself that way.
Yeah, and I would go as far as to say we should be banning these types of surgeries. We shouldn't be allowing males or females to mimic the opposite sex. Right, the sociology woman, did you find his definition, babe? And then Christy, you can chime in, babe.
Yep. And how is that not just like a direct infringement upon like people's freedoms to do what they wish?
I'm so sorry, I didn't hear you. Sorry?
Yeah, how is like banning surgeries not just a direct infringement on people?
Well, I wouldn't say, because I think that there is a limitation to bodily autonomy. I don't think that people who suffer from body integrity disorder are not permitted to have their fingers chopped off, their eyes gouged out, their noses taken off. But for some reason, when it comes to genitalia, that seems to be accepted. Incest laws are in place to stop brothers and sisters from engaging in sexual activity with each other, which that shouldn't be the case, because I think it's disgusting. So as far as the bodily autonomy, we absolutely have limitations. We have now in Canada where they are assisting people to unalive themselves within the medical field. So when somebody is depressed, it doesn't mean that it's okay to say, hey, let's unalive you because that's your bodily autonomy. I would argue that we preserve their life and help restore their life as much as we can before we shouldn't even be making that a consideration. So you are either going to concede and say bodily autonomy 100% of the way and allow for these things to occur within society, or you're going to say that there is a limitation to bodily autonomy. I say that there is a limitation to bodily autonomy.
Yeah, there's like some reasonable limitations, but
right.
But like that's like to like promote somebody's like overall well-being in the long term, and there is some like ability for individuals. Like tattoos, they're strictly like a visual thing.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they might be religious, but most of the times individuals get a tattoo for just because they want it.
Yeah. But I wouldn't place that under the same category as having your muscle tissues ripped off your forearms and your vagina sewed up and a constructed fake penis to be constructed from your muscle tissues then placed upon your vagina, and you have to piss out of a catheter, which then can give you infections and be life-threatening. The medical field, doctors have given an oath to restore life, not to destroy life. These procedures are harmful not only to the person, but to people within society. It impedes upon the rights of people living in society, and it impedes upon your body and how it is harming your body. If a trans woman has the downstairs thing done, they have to dilate for the rest of their lives. If they do not dilate, that hole will close up, can cause a cyst, which if it erupts can cause them to unalive. This is putting somebody's life at risk. This is not what we should be doing to people.
So do tattoos. You can get an infection that could end your life if you have a severe enough infection from a tattoo. But you clearly allow this.
Yeah, I don't think putting a tattoo is in the same category as mutilating your genitalia. With every single trans woman, they have to keep the whatever you want to call it open. They have to keep it open. If they don't, there is severe consequences. With a tattoo, once it's done, providing it's done safely by a professional tattoo artist, you're not gonna go. There's nothing now that I've got my tattoo. There's nothing that I have to do. It's done. So I don't think putting that into the same category as inverting your penis or inverting your penis skin is under the same framework.
I mean, with tattoos, you have to occasionally, like, if you want them to stay looking the same, you have to go occasionally get, like, touch-ups done.
Yeah, but you don't have to. It's a choice, whereas a trans woman has to.
Surgery to keep, like, essentially enlarge yourself because, like you could just let it close if you wanted to.
Yeah, but then that would be life-threatening. You could lose your life.
Yeah, but so can tattoos. So, like, this is just, like...
I think it's a rarity, an extreme rarity when it comes to tattoos. And I think these infections... can be cleared up. But whereas when it comes to the trans person taking cross-sex hormones and mutilating their genitalia, I think it's in a completely different wavelength on that. Completely different, I think. I don't think.
Yeah, but one's like at the same time, like, what are your actual like? Do you have statistics on this, or are you just saying?
What?
Like, did you actually have statistics showing us that, like, hey, the risk of an infection is really high?
No, I'm not. No, I'm saying if they let it close up, if they let it close, right? Because a bubble could form, and I don't know where they're going to pee. How do they even pee at that point? They're peeing out of catheters. Is this the way we want people to live? When trans men are having double mastectomies, when women are having they're losing their nipples. I mean, is this right? I spoke to one trans man, and her nipple ended up under her armpit. But is this? Are we saying this is ethical?
Well, I mean, we do already do double mastectomies for other reasons.
Yeah, which are medical necessities. I wouldn't put somebody who has a quote-unquote gender identity that cannot be proven, I wouldn't put that under the same category.
Well, we aren't just giving, we aren't letting just anybody do like medically recommended surgeries when they don't have like a diagnosis of gender dysphoria.
I'm so sorry, say that
With
again?
healthcare, is just simply don't cover it.
Well, yeah, I don't get what you...
Do you know how easy it is to get a diagnosis of gender dysphoria?
I'm not sure. And it depends on what
It's
you're
extremely easy. There are girls who are going into doctor's offices under the age of 18. All we have to do is just turn up, speak to the doctor for maybe less than 10 minminutes, and they're walking away with a prescription for testosterone. And that's the first step, as we know. And also, I just want to point out, when you mentioned that surgeries for double mastectomies happen in other places, I think that's pretty low of you to compare a trans woman, a girl getting her breasts cut off because she feels like a dude, to women who suffer from breast cancer and who have to have this surgery against their...
Wait. So some people don't
I don't
agree
think you
with
want to go down that path, because last time I spoke to Envyy and Christy, they basically implied that my mother mutilated herself because she had cancer.
No.
No.
Well, let Christy answer this, guys. Let Christy talk. Go on, Christy. No, that wasn't the case.
You have the clips, Christy.
Nobody said that. My grandmother also had breast cancer. Nobody's sitting here saying that women that cut off their breasts. Nobody's saying that women that cut off their breasts for breast cancer.
Yeah, I told you that my mother had a double mastectomy due to breast cancer. And I asked you if that was mutilation in your eyes, and you were just unable to say no for like 5-10 minutes. It looked really poor for you. So is it mutilation for like women who have mastectomy?
Hold on.
Wait, Lauren, stop. Let Christy go.
Dude, wait, why are you calling me in?
Oh God, drunken Lauren, can you be quiet? Is the breast tissue in your mother unhealthy breast tissue? Does she have cancer? Can it take her life?
I mean, yeah, in that case it was.
Okay, that's not mutilation.
Yeah, well, why is it not?
Because it's not.
It's a medical necessity.
If we look at a woman that removes her breast because she wants to be a man, that's not a medical necessity. She's not going to unalive and lose her life to take off her breasts. People that have breast cancer that remove their breasts that are unhealthy is to prolong or potentially save their life.
Are you aware that
I don't know.
people that don't get care commit suicide?
Perfect. Yes. Show me the stats on the people that unalive themselves. Because right now, I believe in certain countries in Europe where they banned it, there's no increase of self-unaliving or unalive at all.
Yeah, do these individuals have like better life expectancy though? It's like we expect people are happier when they're allowed to have surgeries.
Scotty.
I have bad reception. I'm sorry if I missed something.
Yeah, so can you give me 1 second, just before you did chime in, are you a sociologist, did you say, Manu?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, she's going to give us the definition of gender, so if we can get that, and then when Christy's signal comes back in, then you two can carry on your conversation. So Manu, could you give us the definition of gender, please?
Yes, so the definition I have from is from many different sociologists. It's basically from Kenneth West and Don Zimmerman, who were founding fathers of doing gender, together with feminist theorist Judith Butler, and they agree that gender is a socially constructed system of roles, identities, expressions, and institutionalized power.
And where does that say that gender is man, woman, boy, girl, and that you can choose? Because that definition of gender
I didn't say that.
Well, okay, so you didn't say that. So where are you getting the idea that you can just identify into a gender?
Have you ever? Do you understand the theory of like doing gender at all, Envyy?
No, I would like for you to tell me if possible.
Oh, okay. So it's like this idea that I'm not super educated on it, but it's basically the idea is like gender is something not that like we are.
I did that in university. I can take over if you want.
Yeah, I would say you probably, if you actually have like education, that you probably know a lot more than me. So.
Yeah, I have a degree in it. So basically, what doing gender is that they differentiate between sex and gender, right? So sex is your biological how you're born, and gender is how you behave in society, right? It's about that if we go to a different country, being a woman is going to be very different from being a woman in Western countries. So what doing gender is about, that you are not born a gender, but you are a gender in the way that you behave, in the way that you
Okay,
interact
all
with
right.
society,
Let's stop it right
So
there
it's not
then.
something-
Okay, all right. Let's stop it right there. So, what is the shared characteristics of the gender woman?
Yeah, this is just like a misunderstanding of the
Well, it's not, because no. Are we saying is woman a gender?
It's not a thing where you can go, if you don't have this.
But
yeah,
there has
is
to
a
be
gender term.